My name is Hannah Wiesner, and I will be presenting my slides on the usage of technology in the classroom, its pros and its cons. Technology in the classroom. What it is used for. Technology can be used for many things in a classroom. It can be used by both the teacher and the student. It aids the teacher in educating their students, and it aids the students in learning and understanding. By helping both sides, it promotes an environment of better understanding on the subject matter. How it is used. It is used differently in different subjects. Math, reading, spelling, language learning, just to name a few. The possibilities are endless. It can also be used in music and the arts as well. Finally, technology is used for communication between educators and students. So, is it good or bad? In my opinion, it is good, when used correctly and in moderation. It does have the possibility of being bad, when used incorrectly or when promoting too many distractions, but we'll talk about that later. The pros and cons of technology in classrooms. Pros are that it helps with communication between both students and teachers, and between the different teachers themselves. Students can email teachers and ask questions to help them better understand what material is being taught. They can figure out how to solve problems better, which will help them better understand it. Teachers can email and communicate with each other about the best ways to teach a material, so students can receive the best possible education. This can be used for language translations, math help, and explanations. I can't tell you how many times Khan Academy has helped me with my math homework. Cons. It can be a distraction. When given a computer, for example, the games or shopping websites can be accessed, and the potential for the students to use the technology in the wrong way will distract them from the lesson plan. Access to cheating can be easier, for example. Google Translate of a language lesson, or looking at math problems for easy access on how to solve it. Of course, there are ways to combat these cons, but we'll talk about that later. Language learning. Technology aids in teaching languages to students in many ways. Technology has access to every language out there. Teachers and translators only typically know the one or two languages they were trained in, and books can only offer a word-for-word translation. However, teachers and in-person trainers can often offer a more personal translation or explanation of the student's problem. And when using computer translation to solve a problem, there is always the temptation to use technology to directly translate the question or problem, thus giving the student the answer, but not the education that they may need on the subject to solve the problem later in life. Math and technology. Math can be taught through technology in various ways. The explanation of why a problem works out the way it does, or the steps behind solving it, can be used to explain in a better, more detailed steps online than by a professor teaching 30 kids at a time. Khan Academy, for example, has personally helped me understand many things that my teacher or professor did not properly explain. It also gives you the ability to go back and go over problems that you learned years ago to help you understand the more advanced material now. Calculators can often be accessed for free online, instead of spending hundreds of dollars on different types of calculators for a different calculator for every subject. It is helpful to both the students and the teachers. Student communication is aided here as well. Student collaboration and schools education teaching technology integration practices in the classroom. This is an article I read that explained to teachers how to integrate technology into their classroom in a way that benefits both them and the child. This article served as an FAQ for many of the questions many teachers have about technology in the classroom, like how to use it and how it works. This is very helpful, and sites and articles like this can really explain to teachers the best way to use technology in their classroom, which will provide a better understanding for them and thus a better education for the students. Visually impaired students. 3D printers are a new thing that I was just recently introduced to. These can be used to explain concepts to visually impaired students. Through touching and feeling, they can experience what they are learning about in a classroom. I saw this firsthand in my high school, where we used a 3D printer. On a larger scale, this can help kids and adults who are missing or have amputated limbs. By constructing these arms or legs for them, we can give the kid the ability to walk throughout school or a working arm to write and draw with. I think this is such an amazing advancement for our society, and really hope that this benefit is given to as many kids as possible. So, how can we use technology in the best way? We have to use it correctly to minimize cheating, and we can use it to enhance communication. FaceTime, Skype will help so many teachers communicate with each other. Emails and discussion boards will help students communicate with their teachers, and students to communicate with other students to ask questions and better understand the material the teacher is giving. So to use it best, we have to minimize distractions. Like I talked about before, shopping websites and games can be blocked by firewalls and blocking sites. This, of course, is something kids often do try to get around by downloading apps and add-ons that override these firewalls. But that is sometimes unpreventable, and these options are a great way to really help the student learn best. Making sure that the student is accessing correct information. Doing this, teachers will have to keep track and block fake news, ads, and scams. By doing this, they can give the student the truest, best education possible and block them from things that they shouldn't be seeing. And these are my citations.